Hello fellow Star Wars fans and action figure collectors, Finley002 here with another Star Wars action figure customizing project. This time I've got here in front of me my Boushh action figure, or Princess Leia disguised as Boushh, from the Saga collection, I believe. Now, in its day, this was an excellent figure that was released, but in our current times of 14 points of articulation, this figure does suffer some undeniable problems or issues, mainly the swivel elbows. Anyone who's been collecting as of late knows that swivel elbows it's a tough sell. I am not a fan, and I think you'll have trouble finding anyone who actually does like these swivel elbows, or at best they simply tolerate them. Not so much her left arm, which is almost completely straight, so the swivel elbows do nothing. She's already got swivel wrists, so the elbows is kind of pointless because her arm is so straight. This arm, however, was pre-sculpted to be in one pose and one pose only, and that was obviously to hold her staff. Once she is without her staff, posing the arm just becomes painfully ridiculous. There really is no other pose where this would even look, I guess, there. But, you know, what is she doing? It's maybe put a gun in her hand? I don't know. It just looks weird. So I do want to address that. I do want to customize my Boushh figure to give her ball-jointed elbows. I'm going to be using this G.I. Joe Scarlet figure. I think it's from the Renegades animated collection. She is, as you can tell, just really tall. I mean, granted she's on a stand, but this woman is just gigantic. I've got two figures over here, and she is like taller than Luke and Han. I was thinking maybe with some paint application and some Star Wars props, she could just be, you know, a really cool Mara Jade or something. But she is just Amazonian. So she was cheap. She was about $8. I guess it depends on where you get her from. I think I got her from Target. $8, and her arms are thin enough that I think I could harvest her for parts. I mean, unless you're lucky enough to already have some trashy figures in your parts bin. If you are forced to go out and get another figure for parts, I highly recommend this figure because she doesn't seem to be selling all that well. She's a tremendous peg warmer, and her joints are abundant, so you can totally harvest her. I'm thinking once I hack her arms off for my Boushh figure, I'm going to use these ball-jointed hips of hers on a Tusken Raider so that they can easily ride a Bantha, given the fact that those Tusken Raiders were given swivel hips. But enough about her. So another thing I want to address is the face of this figure. Again, it's a little rough. Let me see if you can get a good night. It's hard to tell whether or not it's strictly the sculpt or the actual paint applications on this figure. I'm hoping it's simply the paint applications, and with a little elbow grease and some paints and a really tiny brush, I can really address her face and make it look a little more feminine. One thing I'm going to really try and do is address those sideburns of hers. I mean, I appreciate the effort that they gave sculpting the little strands of hair that were dangling off her face, but because they are attached, they're actually sculpted onto the sides of her face. It just makes it look like huge sideburns. Perhaps if I get rid of them altogether or slice them away from the face so they'll look more like strands of hair and give her a more feminine looking jawline, perhaps that'll do the trick. And my last thing that I'll address when customizing is this staff weapon of hers. Some figures that came out during the Saga line, I think the Lando Calrissian in Skiff-Guard disguise, that was from the same line, also came with a staff weapon. It was made of this really pliable plastic. I almost just want to say rubber. It almost isn't plastic at all. And it just, no matter how much you heat it up and get it straight, given some time at room temperature, it just bends and it just looks horrible. So I'm going to try and find a more sturdy plastic and just replace the rod. I'll keep both ends of the staff weapon because the sculpt is still pretty darn good. But I'm just going to replace this rod so that it'll be more acceptable to display with this figure. So I'm going to stop the video here, and hopefully it'll all go well, and I'll give you another update. Alright, thanks. Alright, and we're back, and as you can see, I believe the arm transplant from the G.I. Joe Scarlet figure was pretty much a success. Did pretty much what I wanted to. I ran into a few curveballs thrown my way that I wasn't really expecting, but were inherent to the actual sculpt, mainly her right arm here. The artist responsible for the sculpt, basically sculpted her to really just be in the pose where she's holding her staff weapon. So he, either on purpose or by mistake, sort of sculpted a curve to her upper arm there. It's kind of got a curve. Plus, there's a curve to her wrist. So when the arm is bent straight, it just kind of looks a little funky. So, it is what it is. But overall, I got the effect I wanted. She now has ball-jointed elbows, swivel wrists. So I think everything worked out beautifully. I kind of wish that I would have tucked the arm further up in the sleeve there. I think the elbow is sticking out a little too far. So if I would have actually taken my time with this, I think I could have done better. I also addressed the face, as I said. Let's try and get a close-up view of her face here. There we go. Yeah, luckily, the sculpt held up. It wasn't so bad. Just with some proper paint applications, I think it turned out all right. I tried my best, as I said earlier, to carve away her sideburn or her strands of hair and still keep them attached, kind of give it a little more of a three-dimensional appearance, and with her hair still, just dangling down the sides of her face. But I just ended up making it worse, so I just cut them all off and resorted to paint the strands of hair in. I also had to carve a little more away at her jawline. Even with the strands of hair cut away, her jaw was pretty wide, and they also kind of gave her a double chin, so I had to try and streamline that a little bit as best I could. Overall, I'm very satisfied with how it turned out. The other thing that I said I would address was the staff weapon. I tried my best to use plastic styrene, which, if there's any model makers out there, they know that plastic styrene is the plastic of choice when it comes to molding model kits. And you can use the outer framework of the tree is basically what they call the framework for which all the little model parts are attached to. If you get the outer edge, you can clip it and get a significant sized rod. And then if you heat it evenly, say over an oven burner, you can stretch it and get a nice thin rod out of it. However, the plastic that I chose to do this with is just too pliable, so I was right back where I started with the staff weapon being so bendy. So this was kind of a no-go for me. And instead of looking for more plastic styrene, what I ended up doing was I grabbed this, one of these bamboo skewers, which I got at the 99-cent store. So for $1, basically, I got 100 of these bamboo skewers, and I just sanded it down to a desired diameter and clipped it to length, and like I said, replaced the bendy rod that was there to begin with. The only problem is with the bamboo skewer, just like a toothpick, it is very brittle, meaning I could easily snap this in half. I mean, it's very sturdy now, it doesn't bend, it looks great, but this is no longer a play item for this figure. So if you guys are doing this for your kids' action figure, I cannot recommend this. This is strictly for display purposes, so it'll look good on display with your figure. So that's about it, you guys. If I had to rank this project as far as skill level, if you wanted to just replace the arms, I would say that was probably a skill level of 3 out of 5, only because I had to use an electric Dremel to hollow out that upper sleeve as best I could so that it would accept a significant sized stub, the bicep basically of Scarlet in there. So that takes a steady hand, and the plastic used for these action figures is very soft, kind of rubbery, and that's a nightmare to work with. It doesn't want to sand well, it doesn't really want to be dremeled. The Dremel ends up sort of just tearing away the plastic as opposed to sanding it away, so that's unfortunate. So that, that again, that took a little bit of skill level 3. The staff weapon, I would say probably a 2 or maybe a 3, depending, I guess. I don't know, 2, I guess. Fairly easy operation, very quickly done. The face, I would have to say 5 out of 5. That's kind of just inherent with each individual. If you've got a really steady hand and you're good with a sharp X-Acto knife, you can do that too. Like I said, the soft plastic does not want to sand well. Cutting it away, it doesn't look smooth unless you do it just right. And then of course the painting. Again, that's just inherent to each individual's artistic ability. I just used some water-based model paint, so easy cleanup, fairly easy application, dries really quickly. So yeah, you guys, I think overall I'm very satisfied with this, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully I'll be able to post some more videos of some upcoming customized projects, something that might be easy for you guys to do at home. Okay, well that's it for now. I will talk at you later. May the Force be with you. Bye.